My dog say he listens to my prerogative after the win. Easy.
Man, I ain't thinking about Chico. I done unmuted my mic. I done unmuted my mic. It is UNK Chico live on the Sunday night Super Bowl. Sunday night. We just letting the beat play. Y'all come on in. Get your groove on. See a lot of BTA belt to ass.
Shout out to Master P.
Yeah. They made him say, y'all come on in. Come in the room. We're about to go live in just a second. Big Dog Chico. It's your man, Uncle Nina. It is Sunday night, Super Bowl Sunday. When you're coming in, let us know where you're at, where you're checking in from. Drop your city, drop your state, drop your team. I know everybody going to claim they was with the Eagles, but you know damn well that nobody see this coming.
The beat drops. They hear that sound, they know what time it is. Yes, sir. UNK Chico, Sunday night live. Live and direct.
It's another Sunday night. It's another Sunday night. Another Sunday night live with UNK and Big Dog Chico.
Here we are. We in the building.
It's another one.
Oh, Jalen Hurts in the building.
Another one, baby.
So what?
It's another one.
Another Sunday night live with UNK and Big Dog. With UNK and Big Dog. With UNK and Big Dog.
So get ready for it.
Another Sunday night live. UNK and Big Dog Chico.
Oh, now.
Oh, now.
I hope the audio is good right now. I hope the audio is good. Shout out to Uncle Neely. Hey, the Super Bowl champs are here, and it is the Philadelphia Eagles. Y'all give it up in the chat one time for the Philadelphia Eagles. Give it up in the chat one time for the Philadelphia Eagles. Unbelievable performance. We both, thank you, late sound man, but you know what I mean? We both, or should I say we all, myself, you, and Dukes, we all picked, at least we did on the last show, we picked the Chiefs to win. So Y'all let us know what y'all thinking in the chat right now. Y'all can roast us. We're gonna give you our reasons for picking them and our reactions to the ball game tonight. Uncle Neely, talk to the people out there for the thousands and tens and the millions watching from around the world, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's Big Dog Chico and the badass Uncle Neely. What's happening?
First of all, Big Dog Chico, much love and respect, and I think you have to appreciate the way I unmuted myself and just came on in this damn thing. Just
official.
Big baller style, Lamar Ball style, just take over. Big baller brand. Chico, look, let me tell you something. You hit it dead on the head. Now let's just keep it a thou wow. Let's keep it a buck nasty. We, like most of the sports experts out there, we all, me, you, and Dukes, we picked Kansas City in a close one. We picked Kansas City to close one. We all had it somewhere between 34 and 31, 37 to 30, 35 to 28, something like that. Chico. Damn. That was belt ass. Yes. Now, you may recall, Chico, a couple of weeks ago when we were pontificating and saying, what could the Eagles do to possibly win? One of the things I pointed out then was, it's never happened before, but really the only chance they got is Patrick Mahomes got to have the worst game of his damn life, and I'd be damned if he didn't have the worst game of his damn life. Now, some of that was forced. Shout out to that Eagles defensive line because there's 2 interceptions. I think it was late on 3, but those first 2 interceptions, it wasn't the DBs who got the pick. It was the defensive line that caused, the throw to make the interception. And we all thought Kansas City's defensive line would be the most dominant for tonight. But the difference maker for this game, shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles front 4. They the MVPs. That's who secured this victory because they dominated KC's O-line all night long, all night.
All right, Lionel.
Yeah.
The final score, 22 to 40, 40 to 22 Eagles. It wasn't really that close, though, even though that was the final score. It wasn't that close, would you say?
No, it wasn't that close. But I'm going to tell you what I'm pissed at, Chico.
Yeah, pissed at Big
I bought 5 squares. It just so happened 2 of my squares were 0 and 0. And here we are. The Eagles the Chiefs throw a deep bomb and score, and it's 40 to 20. And I was like, oh my God, please stop. Please don't let them get this 2-point conversion. So I can get this nice $420 cash for winning this quota. And what they do, convert the 2 points. A ninja can't win for losing. It stayed 0-0 just about all first quarter. Then I got robbed on that. Then they get to the end of the game, 0-0 again. They want to do a damn 2-point conversion.
Unbelievable, man.
Son of a mother.
From the get-go, though, it was that BTA, as they said in the chat, because the Eagles didn't even send the blitz. They usually blitz like 25% of the time on defense during the season. They didn't blitz at all this game during the Super Bowl, and they used their front 4. Those front 4 guys, Sweat, Davis, and the other young Carter and such. Those guys, Nolan Smith, they got after Patrick Mahomes and really flustered him all night. He was seeing ghosts, and he was dropping back, looking for the rush at some points. They was getting back-to-back sacks, throughout the game. So it wasn't seemingly an adjustment made during halftime to stop those guys from rushing like that. But what adjustment can you make if they're only sending 4? It's not like they're blitzing and you got to find out where they're coming from. Oh, they got us that time. Nah, they beating your butt 1-on-1, 4 against 5 basically, and they're winning up front. And that's how they were able to win that ball game, I think. I said when we did our predictions, I said if the Eagles can steal some possessions, meaning if they force some 3-and-outs, if they force some turnovers, then they would have to capitalize on those, and they can win this ball game. And it would have to be a blowout situation, like when the Chiefs lost to the Bucks and Tom Brady. You got to beat them and get up on them early in the first and second quarter, and that's what the Eagles were able to do. As you hear fireworks going across the island right now, because there are a lot of Eagles fans going on out here, and just they're popping fireworks like like it's. I was about to say like it's the Super Bowl. Well, it was the Super Bowl. So, like
and they acted like they won the Super Bowl. They did.
Straight up. Great game by them, man. But defensive side of the football really balled out the whole game, like I said. So I did do a prediction. I woke up this morning feeling different, right? I woke up this morning feeling different. After watching our predictions. Watch this now. After watching our predictions, I was like, you know what? What threw me off on my prediction was you asked me to go first. I was like, look at it. I never was going first. You said, Chico, you go first. I should have deferred right then and thought about it. But I just went off the top of my head and said, Chiefs. After watching it, I was like, you know what? I think the Eagles got a chance. Then I saw them boys warm up as I do. When I could see it in their eyes, I heard the interview Patrick Mahomes did on the sideline. I said, oh, he don't sound like he ready. He don't look like he ready. He got the wrong sleeve on. That don't even look right. Oh, he throwing some picks tonight. I sent you the text, said Patrick Mahomes throwing 2 picks tonight. I put it on Instagram, put it on Twitter, and it came true. Patrick Mahomes with 2 picks tonight. I'll go over the stats in a minute after Uncle Neely give me more of his thoughts of the ball game.
My first thoughts is going to be about your black ass. That's going to be my first thoughts.
Come on with it, Powder. Come on with it, Powder.
Do you play golf, Chico?
I play golf.
Yeah, do you play golf?
I have. I did when I was younger.
Well, you may have noticed. You may have noticed when you go play golf and you get your scorecard, the pencils don't have erasers.
Yes.
Yeah, the pencils don't have erasers. Usually erasing SOB. Bro, you can't change your pick, dog. You bet.
You can't change your pick.
First of all, not only can you not change your pick, for the record. Now I'm gonna give you your flowers. Give me a second.
I didn't change my pick for the record.
You didn't change your pick.
Yes. Thank you.
You had the opportunity to change your pick. You make this nice little speech about you woke up with a different feeling. All the way to kickoff, you didn't change your pick, which means you were wrong. I don't want to hear nothing about what the Lord told you. And when you went down to get some water out the well, the spirit of the well came to you and said, I don't want to hear nothing about no aloha spirit and no kumbaya. You picked the Chiefs. Now to your credit, and I say this in front of the chat and everybody listen, you did text me and say that you felt like Pat Mahomes was going to throw about 2 interceptions tonight. You did call that. But don't try to sit here and act like, just like the rest of America and just like Las Vegas, that you didn't pick the Chiefs in a close one. And not only was it not a close one, it wasn't the damn Chiefs.
It's on record that I picked the Chiefs 34-28. Yes, I did. Yeah. Like I said, that was Friday night, right?
Yeah.
Or Thursday night. Was it Thursday or Friday?
What did you do Sunday afternoon?
Sunday, I said
you didn't change it. You didn't change it.
I said, you know what? I feel a little bit funny about Patrick Mahomes, and I'm still root. I'll read my exact quote. I put it online, but
it doesn't matter what you put online. You didn't change it. You held your bet.
Anyway, I held my bet. Yes. We all lost.
Just ride the wave.
We all lost.
You called the interception right, and stop trying to.
That's what I'm saying. That's all I was trying to say.
Celebrate that. Stop trying to backpedal on the Chiefs, man. You picked the Chiefs.
I did pick the Chiefs. I did think they were going to be able to pull it out if that was the contingency right there. If the Eagles. So that's what I was saying. If the Eagles didn't capitalize on those turnovers, because I really felt like those turnovers were going to come, and that really did. Look, a big pit to my get them, Unc. Get them.
Hey, big pit.
The Instagram.
I'm just calling the record in chronological order. That man had all day to switch his pick, and righty kickoff was still texting. Said, no, I ain't going to change my pick, but it's going to be the interception.
You did exactly what you did when I was trying to make my pick originally. Trying to rush me to. You got to let the profit come out and let it come when it comes, dog.
Nah, it's my fault.
You rushing. You in the backseat rushing. Hurry up and get there.
When you have first chair on the show and be calling on me to say something first, I'll be like, oh, you rushed me, dog. That's why I got it wrong.
I'm going to make sure I call you first.
You do it all the time.
I said, damn. I knew I was supposed to pick the Eagles, especially when everybody else picked the Chiefs. I never picked the same team.
Hey, but Chico, we do have to acknowledge this now. This is real talk.
Acknowledge it, Big Man.
It's going to go over somebody's head that don't know ball now, but we got to acknowledge something.
Okay.
That damn Kansas City game plan to make sure it was going to be anybody but Saquon Barkley. It sure was anybody but him.
They did a hell of a job bottling up Saquon Barkley. I'm talking about just 3-yard gain, 2-yard gain, negative gain, 3-yard gain, 3. They did a great job of not allowing him any big runs, at least until like the fourth quarter. But throughout the whole game, they had a great job. Good job by the defensive coordinator, Coach Spags.
And I just love the way they extended the line of scrimmage east and west. It's like the containment. You know, when he would bounce one out, it's 3 or 4 hats to the hash and to the sideline to keep him contained. Excellent job on keeping Saquon corralled. You know, when they went 10 for tat on the didn't score, and then even went 10 for tat on the turnover, it was Philly with a pick 6 and scoring points off the turnovers, you know, and then the wheels started to come off because what you just sensed was Kansas City's offense, because of the defensive line pressure from Philly, couldn't get anything going. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, the Philadelphia Eagles ranch, you got Saquon bottled up, but the Eagles offense was still moving, was still producing. So now you look up, you know, it's 24-0, it's 21-0. And what you had to have happen, Chico, which didn't happen. You need to get at least 3 points before halftime because you were going to get the ball back first after halftime. If you scored then, that's 10 points. Now the score is like 24-10. You're down 2 scores, you're in the game. When you look at Kansas City, they've been playing Super Bowls, you know, down 10 before. So now it's in your wheelhouse. But when that didn't happen, when that score didn't happen before halftime, and then when the score didn't happen after halftime, you're like, shit, this is it. Like now they're going to be one-dimensional and have to do things they typically wouldn't do.
And I think they're announcing it on TV now, and I could put it up because I made this during the third quarter, big dog. You feel me? Super Bowl MVP Jalen Hurts, the one and only, out of Alabama. And he did go to Oklahoma, but he is an Alabama Crimson Tider.
Where did he win the Heisman at?
Where he won the Heisman at?
Yeah.
Where he won national championship at?
Yeah, national champion. Yeah, where he did that at?
Alabama.
Yeah. And
when
they benched him in that game, and everybody would call him the N-word.
Man, nobody flaked on Jalen Hurts, man. Everybody loved.
Well, I got receipts on that because I did the whole production on it when they turned on him. Stop playing.
Well,
when they went
not the real ones.
They turned on him. Stop playing.
Not the real ones. Not the real ones. You feel me? We fought to the end. Tifo just said. At least we didn't get blown out. That was a blowout, big dog. I'm sorry. That was a blowout. That was a blowout. Let's go over the stats real quick, like, since y'all want to know. I'll read them off to you, or I can also share it on the screen too. Give me a second right here to put it on the screen.
Why don't you do both? Why don't you put it on the screen and read it?
I mean, I think that's what I just said, right?
No.
And I said 22 points scored by Kansas City, 40 points scored by the Eagles to give them the win in Super Bowl 59. 16 points in the fourth quarter, kind of like in garbage time for Kansas City. But Jalen Hurts, as you can see right here, led the squad. That one interception was the only, little hiccup right there that he had. I think that was in the third quarter. But other than that, 17 of 22, 221 yards, 2 touchdowns for the Super Bowl MVP. Also had 72 rushing yards, led the team in rushing with 11 carries and the touchdown. Saquon Barkley, 25 carries and 57 yards, 2.3 yards per carry for him. Devontae Smith out of Alabama, 4 receptions, 69 yards, 1 touchdown for him. Dotson had a big game also early. He was clutch with those 2 catches during the ball game, but the defense was the ones that really showed up. Cooper DeJean with a pick 6. Also, Zach Bond had a beautiful pick. They played. They had the 4-man rush coming with the zone behind it. Great job, great scheme by the Eagles to confuse Patrick Mahomes and that offensive line up front early on in the ball game to get them the early lead. So, hey, big time game. What do you think when you look at those stats right there, Uncle Neely?
I think this is a good example of the Eagles learning about themselves to their own self be true and learning about their opponent. When they played Kansas City, I guess it was 2 years ago, in the second half, they scored on every possession except one. And on that one possession they didn't score on, they elected to not go for a 4th and 2. They punted. And they end up losing the game by a score. And I think they came in with the mentality this time that we ain't doing that. Like even the 4th down that they converted, but you had the questionable offensive pass interference call. 2 years ago, they don't go for that. I think they came with a different mentality, knowing like, hey, we can't play around with these guys. We can't go by the football manual, what 1-on-1 says do in the football handbook. We got to treat these guys like at any minute they're capable of coming back on us. So every time we get a chance to score, we need to score. Every time we can get a takeaway, we need to get a takeaway. Every time that we can get a sack, you name it. And they played with that mentality the whole game. And Kansas City, maybe even like the first 4 possessions, played with that mentality of, oh, it's okay, we still got time. A lot of ball game left. We'll get the next possession. And the Eagles played all night long like the current possession was the last possession. They played like, hey, what if we never get the ball back after this? What would we be doing? And they continue to just just pound it. They continue to just keep hitting them and going after it. And the results of what you see. It was belt to ass, even though that 22 points, is closer. This really was a 35-0 game. I know the final says 40-22, but it was really about 35-0 the way it felt. Like Kansas City was never in it after the first quarter. First quarter, you could see possibilities. But by the time you got to halftime, he was like, they can't beat these boys tonight.
No, dog. No, they were on point tonight, man. Really, the whole game. I took some notes throughout the game, but shit, by the 4th quarter, I was like, man, no need for these because we saw exactly what happened. 47%, 52% of the time he dropped back. Patrick Mahomes, he was pressured. How you gonna win a ball game like that if you pressured that many times?
No, you can't. And that's why I said to me, shout out to Patrick Mahomes. No doubt he did his thing. Proud for the brother. Black man won a Super Bowl. Black win Super Bowl MVP. Black man with a black female agent. I'm all for it. But that damn defensive line is who won the game.
Yeah, buddy.
That's the MVP. That front 4, they dominated from first quarter to the end. They never let up.
Josh Sweat, Jordan Davis. Sweat had 2.5 sacks. Jordan Davis had 1.
That's Hunt, where he pushed, I think, the left tackle into Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
It ended up being an interception, but that was about to be a big completion. I challenge y'all, go back and look at that play. And if Pat Mahomes could have twisted his body like he was about to do and hit the receiver when he was about to hit him, that guy had about 40 yards a day, like coming across the middle, nobody there. But because the offensive lineman got pushed into Mahomes, he couldn't turn and throw the ball, so he kind of, short-armed and then it got picked off. And a hell of a ball play, to make that diving catch for it. Hell of a hustle. And that's just another example of where the Eagles could have lived with it being an incompletion, but here goes a guy diving, in the air 6 yards to catch a ball, for a turnover deep in Eagles territory. So hats off to him, man. Philadelphia Eagles did the damn thing. Enjoy it, ride the wave because it's going to be a real interesting season next year, particularly in NFC with the way the Commanders played this year.
Yeah, you got a lot of teams. Those top 4 teams that was left in the playoffs are going to be tough coming back next year. All of them. Going to have to be some little bit of regrouping for the Chiefs, but I don't see a reason why they shouldn't be right there, with a couple of extra pieces, maybe some depth on that D-line because, in my opinion, I saw them boys getting tired early on in the ball game. Second quarter, they look winded in the ball game. They have to keep coming back in also. At that point of the ball game, I think the Eagles had 15 minutes of possession time to the Chiefs 5 minutes. So that defense was on the field.
And that's what that's why I'm gonna slightly disagree with you. I hear what you're saying, but if I were KC, I wouldn't make no wholesale changes because the defense got tired because they were out there more than the defense is supposed to be out there, which is a byproduct of the offensive line being not up to par. So if I were going to make any changes, it would be on the offensive line side, not the defensive line, because the defense lackluster was attributed to going 3 and out all the times and coming right back, and they still did the damn thing because look at what they did to Saquon Barkley. A defensive line first job is to stop the run, and they took away the most dominant running back of the season. They took him totally out the game and did it the whole game. And so before I made any changes there, I would say, okay, what we got to do to beat the Eagles is we got to have some better offensive line play. So let me get some depth there. But if even having said that, the way they win the AFC, the way they've been winning the AFC, I expect them to be right back in it next year.
Okay, you say get the offensive line play. I agree with you on that. I'll give you that. But still, you're going to be in some situations where you're going to have some depth on that defensive line. Them boys were winded that second quarter. I don't care. Go back and look at that.
I get it.
But listen, that's why I made the point of saying that 15 minutes to 5 minutes. You're right on that. The offensive line will have to step up and block to where that can afford them to be on the field longer. But at the end of the day, also, Chris Jones is getting older, longer in the tooth. You saw him nursing an injury during the ball game. He already had a leg injury. So, yes, bring him back, but still add some depth there also, in my opinion, because I don't think the offensive line is going to be fixed overnight,
Okay, see, I was going to say, okay, and just leave it alone, but then you said that shit. How the hell can you sit there and say you can't fix the offensive line overnight, but you can fix a defensive line overnight?
I didn't say fix. I said add to the defensive line.
Okay, that's so adding to it. Clearly, you don't have to fix the offensive line. They fucking made the Super Bowl. Clearly, you don't have to fix the defensive line. They made the Super Bowl. But when you talk about adding depth ain't where it ain't needed on the defensive side. It's needed on the offensive side because that's where you got your ass kicked. Now, I was just going to leave it alone, but you added that overnight shit to it. Like I was gonna leave it alone, dog. And here's another thing people miss about.
I don't think they can fix the offensive line overnight, which means that
you can't fix the defensive line overnight either. And you shouldn't.
You're not trying to fix it overnight. I never said fix overnight, other than referring to the offensive line. I said add depth. I said add. This is what I'm saying. I said add depth to the defensive line because they're getting older, right? You're saying fix the offensive line and that'll cure the problems on the defensive line. I'm like, yes, I understand that and I agree with you on that, but I don't see a scenario right now where they can fix that offensive line in 1 year right now. So that means that you might have the same problems. You might run into the same problems. So when you can add and supplement your defensive line, which you saw was clearly tired in the second quarter, then do that also.
And all I'm asking you, Chico, Mr. General,
you're right, and I'm right also at the same time.
No, you can explain this shit to me. All I'm asking you, Mr. General Manager Chico, the process that it takes to add to, you use the word, to improve, the process that it takes to improve the offensive line from a player personnel general manager perspective is the same process it takes for the defensive line. We are not playing satellite football where you just pick from a losing team.
No, it's not.
You have to give up something to get something in the NFL. You have a salary cap, you have free agency, you have the draft. If you make any changes on your team, it has a ripple effect, sometimes equal and opposite to the rest of the team. So it's the same mechanics. I don't care if you're saying, hey, we need to improve the wide receiver room. To improve the wide receiver room, another room has to lessen because you only got 53 starters and you have to be on the salary cap. It's the same mechanics. I'm not disagreeing with you in your theory about which one which. I'm disagreeing with you. You say that one easy and one ain't. It's the same damn thing.
First of all, I never said easy one time. What I'm saying
Okay,
is this.
you
Let
keep
me break
saying
it down.
bullshit like, oh,
Let
the
me break it
offensive
down.
line overnight, but the defensive line take a little longer.
Because no. Listen, offensive line needs more of chemistry. Do you see offensive linemen rotating out like you would see a defensive line rotating out? So you would need more depth on your defensive line because more of them are going to play. You can go throughout a ball game and only 5 offensive linemen play. You're not going to see just 4 defensive linemen play throughout a ball game. They're going to rotate out. So you're going to need at least 8 defensive linemen. If you have 4 going across the front, you need backup. So that's 8. You need 8 defensive linemen. So you need to add depth there. They obviously didn't have a lot of depth because you saw their starters out there winded a lot due to the fact that they couldn't keep the ball on the field.
And why they couldn't keep the ball on the field, Chico?
Of course, because of the offensive line, which you're saying that you're going to attack to improve, and I'm saying fine, but it won't be improved overnight. That's all I'm saying.
Chico, you're right.
All right. Well, I'm just saying it won't be improved overnight.
Chico, you want to say it one more time?
Yes, it won't be improved overnight.
You're right. You're fucking wrong, but you're right. You're absolutely motherfucking wrong, but you're right.
Y'all let us know in the chat what y'all think, and then who's wrong, who's right. It don't matter. I feel like both of us.
It doesn't.
I feel like both of us
matter.
Actually, I'll give you credit
matter. Let me tell you why it doesn't matter.
Why?
Because I've been doing this shit with you for a month of Sundays now, and you only go highlight the comments that agree with you. So it really doesn't.
Look, I'm gonna go down all of them. Everybody who comes in, y'all go ahead.
You used to do the Chico. First of all, I'm just having fun. Like
almost lost some money.
I'm just having fun.
Pat Mahomes.
What Chico does is like he does in the draft. He in chat. What y'all think? He gonna put up the ones that agree with him.
I'm putting up all of them as long as it's not offensive, to anybody. I'm putting up all of them. The offensive line needs an overhaul. And
Chico, let me ask you this:
the Chiefs have some good receivers.
I just said, let me ask you something.
All right, go ahead.
No, motherfucker. Next time you ask me something, I'm gonna ignore your ass too.
No, I was just reading the comment. You heard me read the comment.
You can't listen to read at the same time.
I heard
schools that equip you. You gotta have complete silence to read.
Lord have mercy.
I know what you do, Chico. When you ride around and you looking for an address, you turn your radio down, though.
Turn the radio down. Why are we looking for this?
Chico, I gotta ask you this, and I want to know the chat opinion too now.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know that damn halftime show was boring. Stop playing.
Man, you are hateration. You are hate. Goodness gracious. Nah, I think it was good for the most part. Now, compared to what
about the part that wasn't good for the most part?
Compared to what it could have been for our age range, well, I would say your age range, my age range, and below us. I'm just playing.
You was buck nasty.
For people 30 and up, they would have loved to see Cash Money come out that thing and take over like they did for the 99 and the 2000. You know? But for what it was worth, Kendrick Lamar to come out there and the production that he put on, I think it was pretty great. I think it was a good one.
I like to get you on record lying. See what I like to do, Chico.
Lying.
Iron sharpens iron. I like to give you these questions that make you think quick on your feet because you got to say something politically correct and say what you really feel. Because I know that show was boring. I got the text message to prove it, but I'm not gonna put them up.
You gonna lie and say that?
See, I got that move from you. Oh, I got the receipts, but you don't never pull them out. Shout out to Duke to Scoop in the chat, man. Hey, Duke want to play along with us during the game, man. Like maybe we need to put some minutes on this phone.
Duke was eating some food somewhere at a nice function, probably looking over the nice hills of Atlanta or something, the mountains of Atlanta, the Caucasus Mountains of Atlanta. Oh, now Dukes.
Rita Porter halftime was not it. Brown production was crazy. Music was trash. Like, look, I am a huge Kendrick fan. I get him.
Did you know the songs he performed?
Well, you not gonna let me finish?
Oh, okay, go ahead. You're right.
I was just gonna stop. You good? You like
But that is a question I wanted to ask. Did you know the songs that he performed?
all of them.
Okay.
Kendrick ain't dropped nothing that I don't listen to and like.
Okay, that's what's up.
But from a performance standpoint, energy standpoint, man, that wasn't a halftime Super Bowl show. It's like that was a walkthrough. I got his little. You see me saying little, that means it's a dish. I like his little great jabs. I get it. I got the inside jokes about I say
Drake out.
Yeah, I get that. I love Serena Crip walking. I be Crip walking on when our theme song drop. I get it. But you ain't gonna tell me what you already said. You give me Lil Wayne, you give me the Hot Boys, you give me BG Turk from the Hot Boys, you give me Manny Fresh, you give me Juvenile, you give me Master P, you give me the Ghetto Sarah Lee, Mia X. And that's just New Orleans. We can go to Boosie and get him out of Baton Rouge. I'm just dealing with New Orleans.
But what is that promoting to the world, though, compared to what some of the stuff Kendrick is? Now, I'm just asking the question. Now,
it ain't a damn thing Kendrick did tonight going to change these people's opinion in America. But at least had Manny Fresh and Juvenile done back that ass up, you had something to twerk to. That would change America.
Had the whole America twerking out that thing. But I say this, you got to think about it, though. Actually, the people inside the arena, how many people are actually from New Orleans other than the workers? Like a lot of these people come to the games, they're from the cities that the game comes from. Now, I would say this.
Yeah.
It justifies it when you have a guy like John Batiste, who is a New Orleans legend. When you have Trombone Shorty out there, New Orleans legend. When you have other New Orleans legends come out there and do the America the Beautiful and other songs pre-game, it made sense for the halftime show to be a New Orleans themed halftime show. Being in New Orleans is a cultural city, a unique city in the United States. They could have had everything, just like they had those unique parades for the Super Bowl. Same thing could have carried on to the halftime show. But I'll give it a nice 89B. You're the 89.
What I'm about to say first, I'm only saying in response to what you just said. Okay, I want you to keep that in mind because you referenced the people in the arena. A stadium holds somewhere about 60, 70, 75,000 people. There are tens of millions watching on TV. Halftime and all that stuff, it ain't for the people in the stadium. It's just like WrestleMania. It's just like Royal Rumble. It's for the people watching on TV. So I ain't going to use who's in attendance as who can't be what. I'm just saying, if Kendrick was going to come out there and do that walkthrough, it would have been better to have an energetic halftime show because there's nothing like energy. That show was boring as hell. And I love how somehow, once again, when the chat agrees with me, somehow the comments don't make the screen.
I'll put all the comments up there.
Somehow you busy all of a sudden.
You said that you made the point that it's millions watching from around the world, right?
Absolutely.
I think that makes the point in the reasoning to have Kendrick as the halftime show rather than.
All right, nice. Explain that, and then I'm gonna rebut. Go right ahead, sir.
Because I feel like right now in the world there are more people that knows Kendrick music rather than that would know the Hot Boys music right now, like we would, or that would feel it like we would. Yeah, it would be perfect for us, but for around the world, the millions watching around the world as they are advertising and showcasing too. Right now, what's streaming is not the Hot Boys. It's Kendrick Lamar. Why not have him as the halftime show? Because we're in New Orleans? No. As Uncle Neely said, you got millions watching. It's not just people in New Orleans that's watching this. So we're going to put Kendrick Lamar on. That's why they make the decision, in my opinion. Aside from the fact that, if you had, and I love Lil Wayne, and we know Coach Prime loved Lil Wayne too, as he gave a shout out to Kendrick Lamar publicly for his performance. But I love Lil Wayne. But at the end of the day, what he would have been rapping about what would he would have been showcasing? I'm playing devil's advocate. What would have been showcasing to all of the millions of people watching around the world? Probably nothing they haven't seen from a concert from him, but he would have been introducing Super Bowl would have been introducing him to millions of people. Like
this nigga's crazy.
Now I'm crazy. All right, go ahead. Tell me, give me your rebuttal.
No, let me tell you something. I don't even have a response to
that. Damn.
I don't even have a response to that.
Listen, look.
No, we done. Next subject. Go to the next question.
All right.
We go to the next. Yeah,
y'all let us know what y'all think in the chat. I'm gonna showcase these comments right quick. So Uncle Neely won't think that I'm just showing mine. It was trash.
It was introduced a little way.
I mean, to some people. So you tell me everybody should watch.
No, you go right ahead, dog. You good.
Chico won that point.
Yeah, he sure did.
Go to the next one.
Sure did. He can win the next one too.
Go sit down, Chico. Bye. Sweet Caroline said.
Crack out sell collard greens every day. That don't mean it's good for you. Go right ahead.
Chico,
win again.
The Grammys performance. Okay. So is the Grammys bigger than the Super Bowl? Hell no. Ocho? Come on now. He didn't utilize his moment. I think he did fine for the music that he has. You know? To me personally, yes, I would have liked to see Lil Wayne and somebody else. But anyways, you know, that's neither here nor there.
Hey, Simply Jen's Kitchen and Millionaire Lifestyle. One, Unc don't have feelings, and then two, you have never seen me mad. I'm sitting in my drawers in my house on the internet. What the hell I got to be mad about? Mad. Mad. Man, life is so damn good. You think I'm gonna be mad about this?
Hell no. Yeah. Don't take it seriously, guys. We talking, and we can talk like this. That's why we can talk like this.
You should see our conversations off there. Chico.
Hold up. What?
I hopped on with Dukes last night.
Okay.
And somebody asked Dukes how your shoulder was, and Dukes didn't remember the connection. He said, "Hey man, how Chico doing?" And then it clicked in his head.
I know he laughed like hell.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Like, come on, dog. His shoulders eyed, y'all. It wasn't.
I bet Dukes was so sincere at first, like,
no, he was concerned. Like,
what happened?
Yeah, he was concerned, man, about your shoulder.
Now Jay-Z ain't want anybody. They don't want to listen. Yeah, y'all let us know, man. Kendrick Lamar, I feel like it was a fine performance once again. Let's go on to the next subject, though. What's the next subject? MVP once again, Jalen Hurts. You know, he beat Patrick Mahomes finally, did his thing. How y'all give a shout out to Jalen Hurts in the chat. Unc, you got any comments on Jalen Hurts winning MVP, man?
No, just once again, proud of the young brother. Black man, Super Bowl winning quarterback, MVP quarterback. Wish him many more. But as a Deion Sanders and Warren Sapp will tell you, Super Bowls are not only hard to win, they're hard to get back to. And so we'll just see what continues to evolve in the NFC, where he currently is playing now. And you still, even in this loss, it doesn't take anything in my mind away from the GOAT discussion, of a Patrick Mahomes. Because when you look at, he's not even 30 years old, and he's been an MVP of Super Bowl 3 times. Been 4? This was 5. I don't know how many times just been. I think he's been 5, lost 2. And he probably has another 10 years of playing in him, if not 12. So it's going to be interesting to see the rest of Jalen's career, no matter where he plays at. Kansas City has Mahomes locked up foreseeably. So wishing them both the best. But I'm still loving, man, what the Ravens have coming, what the Bills have coming, what the Commanders have coming, what the Detroit Lions have coming. Next year going to be real interesting to see if either one of these teams, Kansas City or the Eagles, can even make it back.
I think the Eagles are set up in position to do that. You know, that defense is young, flying around, got a great scheme. As you saw, like we said, if you just get into the quarterback and pressuring Patrick Mahomes with just your front four, and all four of those guys are relatively young,
yeah, my only counterpoint to that is the reason if I had to bet right now $100 on them not going back is this year they rely too much on the running back, and the wear and tear of a running back in the league, it just is what it is. Like it's the reason it doesn't happen. You know, it's the reason teams don't invest heavily in running backs. Because the truth of the matter is, as good as the Eagles defense is, as great as Jalen Hurts is, they wouldn't have been in the Super Bowl without Saquon Barkley. And when you run a guy that much in this league, you know, the wear and tear, the compounding, diminishing return of it, they got maybe one more year of it, Chico.
Is it easier to find a running back than it is and replenish that running back room or to supplement that running back room than it is to do the same for the offensive line?
I'm gonna tell you why it is easier. Even though you're trying to be shitty, I'm gonna tell you why it is easier.
I'm just asking the question.
It's a numbers game. You can have 2 or 3 running backs on your team and not need them to do what Saquon does. Like you don't need a 250-yard rusher per game to be successful when you have outside weapons and a good quarterback. Like if you look at the way the league plays, you know, you just don't have to have that to be successful. And to prove that, you can give everybody in the chat a pop quiz, and I bet you the final 6 teams in the NFL this year, only one running back you can name is Saquon. People don't even know these other starters because it ain't that the success is not that dependent on them. And so I think if they were to lose a Saquon Barkley, let's say they lost him, God forbid, week 3 to injury, they could still get there. It just wouldn't be on the back of the running back. It would go back to be on Jalen because Jalen Hurts got legs too. He showed it at night. He had some big runs that took the life out of drives.
72 yards on the ground, but also had some big throws, pinpoint down the field. That big throw down the field to Devontae Smith, huge touchdown, great throw, you know, accurate throw down the field. So I think he's continuing to evolve as a passer. And with the offensive line intact and the defensive line young, I think it's going to be up to that general manager to understand and see what you're talking about and saying that, you know, that tread on the tire is not going to be there too long for Saquon. So find somebody who can back him up, learn from him, and then eventually take over and keep this same, what I feel like is like a system running with the Philadelphia Eagles.
And they do that when they send that game with a kid in. Like he goes in to take some of those runs and takes a series or 2 off. You know, I just know that, man, my Lord, to get another 24-yard season, what that takes, you know, wear and tear wise, it's gonna be a mofo. But that's why we play the game every season, Chico. We started this whole conversation, you know, 2 weeks ago, and we knew who was in the Super Bowl, and we said to be the man, you got to beat the man. And the Philadelphia Eagles have beat the man, so now they are the man.
Exactly, they're the ones to beat. They're the man you see in the place to be. Shout out to the.
I will tell you this, Chico. I like how fast that you were wrong. Chico went by too. Like he didn't stay up there. Like
look. No. See, that's where you're wrong at. If you rewind 30 seconds before that, it was up there for longer. I just accidentally clicked on it again.
Yeah. Get it right. You know the reason I point this stuff out is your reaction. I pointed out. Like you get amped up.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to get a personal foul on Chico.
He trying me, chat. Shout out. He trying me, chat.
Chico, I will tell you this. Now, speaking of I told you so's, I know you want to wait till tomorrow with Dukes, but we're going to talk about all this and some more then.
Mm-hmm.
I told you that damn AD was going to get hurt.
Lord have mercy. Jesus. Let me see. It was, you sent me the text, and I had it set up to where I had to read it off so I could know exactly what it was. But it came from Shams, who broke the news of the big trade. So he's like the main senior NBA insider right now. You know how they, you know, whoever get the big news broken, they get the you know, the airtime on ESPN. But now it's Shams saying that Anthony Davis is out multiple weeks with an adductor strain. You saw him grab for his groin area during that game, and what I think happened was he pulled it again, and he was kind of like so embarrassed that he was hurt again that he was like, man, I'm just gonna fight through it for this game. And he knew what time it was, and now he's gonna be out for a few weeks. You know,
So
you called him the glass man.
I want to say this to you, Chico. I'm not celebrating this.
No,
I don't wish injury on nobody. I want everybody to be healthy, happy, and they pursue the happiness and accomplish all their dreams and goals. But I tell you and Dukes all the time, the best indicator of future performance is past performance. And when you ask me and Dukes the question, who do I think won this trade in the long term and in the short term? I explained to you the long term because AD was older and injury prone, but older. And Luka wasn't even 25 at the time. I think he may have turned 25 or 26 by now, whatever age he is, 25, I think. I said, but the reason I think he's going to win even in the short term is that AD, right after this trade, is probably going to miss games at some point before the playoffs.
Unbelievable.
Because it happens every year. And so Luka making his debut with the Lakers, I think Monday night against Utah. And when AD made his, now he out a month or two, or who knows.
She's just waited till Luka made his debut. You know, maybe it could have been a little bit healthier. Like, damn, dog. Man, they gotta hurt. Like, your feelings gotta be hurt. Like, I'm just trying to play basketball. And I got people calling me the glass man, guy with shades and a beard, and another ugly guy with an afro like he's a PWI professor. And they're calling me the glass man. Damn, that gotta hurt, dog. I feel sorry for him.
Debbie Garcia, you still don't have to laugh, but you know. I gotta tell you, Debbie, I gotta tell you, Chico, I gotta tell you, Chat, I gotta tell you, Dukes. I got off the show the week we had that trade discussion, and I said, man, I hope I'm wrong. I don't want to tell Chico I told you so.
Yeah.
I don't want to be right about this.
But you damn sure text me and said, I told you so.
Well, you Chico, yeah, Chico. Hey,
that's crazy.
The text is off the app. That's supposed to just be us. That's me, you, and Duke's text group.
Until you bring it up. Until you bring it up when you want to bring it up.
I bring it up with your permission.
Look at Duke. Duke said you called it. Damn sure called it. And then another thing in the news, NBA news, this trade that we were so excited about.
Yeah.
Big Williams. Let me see. I need to pull it up. But the trade got rescinded, right? And Shams broke this one too. But trade got rescinded, got taken back, got voided, null and void. Dalton Connect goes back to LA, the rookie they drafted this year. And Big Williams, the center that we thought was going to be like the big man for the team, he failed the physical. So they're sending him back to Charlotte. So the trade is off. So now the Lakers are bringing this guy back in. I want to ask you your opinion about that from a management standpoint. How do you handle if you bring a guy back in? No, I was going to say, how do you handle if you bring a guy back in? How you think they will handle if you bring a guy back in that you just tried to trade and the trade got blocked and it didn't go through because the other guy failed his physical? You know, what do you do from there?
You know, dog. You know, you was dating Mary Alice, and you thought you wanted to go to Debbie's house. And so you called it off Mary Alice, went on to Debbie's house. Debbie said, no, you can't come over here. And you had to go back to Mary and say, I was just playing. Girl, I just playing with you, girl. I just, look, hey, you know I'm crazy.
You know I love you. Damn.
Yeah, because the thing is, on one hand, it's almost like training day when they had Jake Horton in the tub, smiling, his boy's about to put the gauge in his mouth, and they found his little cousin wallet, and they got ready to let him up, and he said, "Hey, this shit was just business, right?"
Right.
That's
what it got to be like.
You're trying to do it was just business, right?
Yeah.
And so I think when he gets back, he'd be like, "Hey, man, the Lord works in mysterious ways. We're glad to have you back, but that was just business."
Exactly. Lakers rescind trade for Mark Williams due to multiple issues with Hornets big man's physical. per report. So
damn,
I
man.
think this. Let me ask you this, Unc. You got several big men out there. Now we have some guys. We got Hayes and Woods and Kaleko, whatever his name is. I'm sorry. You got some big men there, but they're not of the caliber we're thinking of a championship big man or anybody that could guard the Joker. Now the Lakers have two guys who are out there in free agency who have won championships in the past with the Lakers, and that is Dwight Howard, the future Hall of Famer, and JaVale McGee. Out of those two, what would you do? Would you sign one of them or both of them?
Oh man. Oh man. So like I'm in a catch right here because my mind is neither. But Lakers need a big. They need a true center. They get some minutes from, and I really feel bad. Like McGee gets the jokes with Shaq go so far that has become his mystique because he really is a serviceable player. Like he brings something to the table. Like he makes people change their shot. He can block shots. He can rebound. He's not a bad guy in the locker room. I do think at this point, though, Dwight Howard may have too many distractions and other things going on in his life that I don't know if I wanted in my locker room right now. So if you made me pick, I'm probably going McGee. But if you made me like pick on like physical prowess without the off the court stuff, I would take Howard as well though. But man, I hate that trade didn't go through because of the physicals. I thought the guy from Charlotte really was going to help them out.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. I really did. I was excited for him being his length. A big deal is always made in basketball about the arm length, right?
Mm-hmm.
His was 9'9", which is longer than Wembanyama. Can you imagine that? And Wembanyama's 7'5". So that would have been a great pick for them. So you could bring in JaVale McGee, and I see by the numbers right here: 9.4 points, 7 rebounds, basically 1.5 blocks to play. Last time he played with the Lakers, it would be up to who's in shape the most. I saw a video of JaVale McGee still working out, so I like JaVale McGee, and I also like Dwight Howard.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, the locker room is key. It's going to be huge because of the issues that Dwight Howard has and because of how well the Lakers are playing right now. You don't want to bring in a bad distraction or a cancer to that because they're playing really well right now.
One of the things that hurts us, Chico, you have
I didn't brought in Chuck. Sorry about that, but you up here now. You in here now.
You having a serious conversation. I'm trying to seriously listen. And I checked the chat, and simply Jen's kitchen. They're talking about Dwight Howard too busy wearing a dress. Like I can't even. Sometimes, dog, you just can't even look. You can't even look at the chat. The chat is so wild, man. and they don't be wrong. I'm just saying, it's like it'd be hard to hey.
Dwight already said no. Nobody want Dwight in the locker room. Dwight Howard too busy wearing a dress. That's crazy. We need a T-shirt with AD in the bubble wrap. Bishop, how you doing?
I'm doing well. You can use a Dwight Howard.
I think so too, man. I think actually, I like the 3 options they talking about is Dwight Howard, Mo Bamba, and JaVale McGee. Now the current guys they have is Christian Wood, Jackson Hayes, and a couple other 2 serviceable guys. And you can also say that what's the Vandy? You can say he's a center also, but he's more like a forward. So. Hell, I like those 3 free agents over 3 of those centers that's on the roster right now.
Man, would Shaq allow JaVale McGee to live in peace in Lakerland?
I think he did after winning that championship. He proved himself during those times. That kind of went away. I think Shaq was like, JaVale, after the way you played, I think all the Shaq and the fool will go away. Back pain. Get you some icy hot back pain. Oh, my bad. But
Chico,
I think he let it go.
Do me, I'm going to put you on the spot. Do me, Shaq and Magic Johnson having a conversation about JaVale McGee.
Now listen, Shaquille, you gotta listen. The big man gonna flow. His mother played in the USA Olympics. He's an Olympic. Shaq, big fella. You know, big fella. No, Magic. I don't like him. I don't like. He called himself Superman. Dwight called himself Superman. Next thing I know, they're in Thailand, and now they're not wearing pants, and I don't like it.
Duke says Duke the Scoop had a question for you, Chico. Duke the Scoop said, "What issue does Dwight have?"
I don't. Come on, man. Y'all try to.
I'm just reading the chat question. Duke asked the question in the chat.
Let me see. What issue does Dwight have? I don't know, Bishop. What issue does Dwight have, Bishop? You think, or Uncle Neely? And I'll think about it.
I think what Dukes was alluding to is that he wants to go to your barber. Like he wants the barber to put the nuts on his shoulder.
It's a damn shame. Y'all ought to be ashamed of yourself. Y'all ought to be ashamed of yourself, man. Dwight Howard said those things weren't true, right? Or did he? What did he say?
Well, no, that's what's so crazy. Like the chick he divorced, that little Royce chick, she been coming out, saying all kinds of stuff about him and men in the bed taking mushrooms together. And I don't know, dog. I don't know if the Lakers locker room need that right now.
Yeah. Well,
he brings a lot of baggage.
If you can keep that stuff outside the locker room, then cool. But yeah, he does bring a lot of baggage. And who knows what's inside.
Say keep it outside the locker room. We can't even keep it off this show. How they gonna keep it out of the locker room?
You're right.
Point.
Somebody said the Lakers be having the show up. They be watching the show Sunday nights, man. After the game, they have us in the locker room playing. So shout out to my Lakers.
And I can't wait till Magic Johnson run into your ass.
I can't deny nor confirm that. Man, Magic running to me, man. Hey, big dog. I've been hearing you, big dog. But I had to pass it. Magic.
All right, y'all. It's time for the culture. We got Chuck Bishop in the house, Professor Charles Bishop, Dr. Charles Bishop, inside the HB Sports Lab. He checks in with us live on Sunday nights to bring us updates on what's taking place in HBCU sports and around the culture. Chuck Bishop for the culture. Table is yours, baby. What you got?
Yeah, I mean, we caught the Super Bowl tonight. Shout out to the Eagles for getting the win. But in the pregame, we had the Human Jukebox. They were part of the Super Bowl festivities. Dr. Kendrick Taylor announced the Human Jukebox will be headlining the pregame show. He mentioned that they were actually on Jennifer Hudson's show this past week where they made that announcement. And then tonight we saw the Human Jukebox. Not their first time, being a part of the Super Bowl festivities. Of course, they are well known for whether you're talking Essence Festivals, Super Bowls, you name it, inaugurations. The Human Jukebox has always been a part of that. So shout out to Kendrick Taylor, their band director, and the Southern Human Jukebox for being a part of tonight's festivities. So that was big time in terms of taking a look at that. And the back end that, they did some things this past weekend with Ocho and Shannon Sharp. So definitely want to give a shout out to them. I think they donated money to the band program. So $25,000 and $25,000. So Human Jukebox, it was a good week for them in terms of getting that national spotlight as well as putting a little money in the coffers as well.
Yeah. Even saw, I think this joint combined choir in the pregame, doing the Lift Every Voice and Sing pregame. So it was a lot being done for the culture. Before you came on, we discussed Chico and I agreed to disagree on the performance by Kendrick Lamar. It was a yawner to me, but he said he was, felt just as excited he is when they at the barbershop.
I think the problem, Kendrick came behind Usher. Like Usher's performance last year was kind of universal. Like, yo, that was a hell of a performance. It kind of did that to me this year. So, maybe where it is, where I am in life right now, like for me to decipher this, that, and the other that Kendrick is doing, like I love his music, but just deciphering him tonight, maybe that was a little bit too much for me. So,
Yeah, I feel you. Like I said, before you came on, I love Kendrick, love his music, but from a concert entertainment perspective, just wasn't a lot of sizzle for it to me. Appreciate Sam Jackson, coming out like Apollo Creed when he was getting ready to fight Drago in the exhibition.
What was my man? Oh man, I was Honeycutt. What's the movie?
What y'all think about that?
That's who I thought about. I thought about Honeycutt in that Spike Lee movie. I can't think of the name of it.
How much you think they had to pay Samuel L. Jackson to beat Uncle Sam? This is the motherfucking Uncle Sam. ain't no drinks on the plane.
Shout out to the Morehouse alum, Sam Jackson. He was also part of the halftime show. So, Neely, we talked last week about the Southern Heritage Classic, about Tennessee State officially withdrawing from the Southern Heritage Classic. But big news this past week, Tennessee State and that September 13th part of the schedule, they're going to be playing Alabama A&M. So that's going to be a huge I-65 series in terms of those two teams getting together. Tennessee State and Alabama A&M, I believe that's a 4-year deal where those teams will play a home and home. But it's a rivalry within proximity of each other, about 110 miles from each other, Huntsville to Nashville. Those two teams will get it back on again. I ran into a Tennessee State alum today, really excited about it. But, of course, they really want to see that Tennessee State-Jackson State game once again to see if Jackson State and Tennessee State can get some sort of home-and-home action going. So I believe both schools will have an opening on their schedule in 26 or 27. So a lot of fingers crossed in regards to that.
So you're saying in summation, Prime was right.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I think people understand that now.
Yeah. I think that's what they're saying, that Prime was right.
They wanted to fight it back then, but guess what?
Yeah. I think he was right.
Yeah.
The man know business, right? He know business.
He does know business.
Yeah.
Still getting some feedback and whatnot. The signing class this past week from our HBCUs. A lot of people claiming to have done well. I'm talking with a couple of individuals now in terms of trying to get sort of a grade on what did Delaware State do, what did Norfolk State do, what did Jackson State do. There are a lot of teams, and I'll come back with a top 5 in terms of HBCU recruiting over the next week. But a lot of teams added some depth. A lot of teams, and we talk about this all the time, get you a quarterback. Some programs are really excited about some of the pieces they brought in. Jackson State was really excited about a running back that they were able to get from San Diego State, young man who has some world-class speed. But basically, you're seeing, and we sort of talked about this a little bit, you're seeing a lot of individuals that would have been at, mid-tier schools or whatnot. They're finding their way to HBCUs, so especially along the trenches. So that's something to pay attention to with regards to this upcoming season. A lot of attention being placed around the SWAC. You got a lot of new coaches coming into the conference, so there's a lot of excitement building going into the year. I wanted to make mention, got Ping of the Bats coming up this upcoming week here in Houston. The Cactus Jack Classic, always a huge sort of way to kick off baseball season. You got a bunch of programs in action this weekend, from Jackson State to Grambling to Texas Southern to Alabama A&M. They'll all be coming into Houston this weekend, kicking off baseball season. So that's going to be pretty huge. And there are a lot of events heading into the Cactus Jack Classic, where you have a big celebrity softball classic, celebrity softball game this upcoming week, and it leads to a lot of foundational things that the Astros are doing with HBCU baseball. So should be a big weekend. I know I will have a couple games where I'll be doing play-by-play with that. So looking forward to it this upcoming week with regards to Cactus Jack Classic.
Good deal. A couple of chats your way. RT says he's proud of Vic and D-Jack. Deshaun Jackson getting very good players. Big Pitt says Vic has done well. Due to Scoop says Jabari Jones to Jackson State. That's a straight dog. RT says a lot of gems out here in Cali. There will be HBCU notables. Due to Scoop also says Jacqueline Robinson, Delaware State was a big one for D-Jack as well. Say so the great. I can see the HBCU in the Power 4 soon. I can see an HBCU in the Power 4 soon. Too much parity right now in college. Chuck, appreciate those comments, everybody, while we got Chuck here for the culture. But he forgot one thing, and I'm going to throw it in his face, and I'll be the one to bring it up because I can't believe he failed to mention it. As much as he plays golf, golf is back at Jackson State. I met with Rob Ford II, the new head coach for Jackson State Golf. He got a lot of big things planned. As you know, he was there in Prairie View out your way. He's a JSU alum. He's back at Jackson State to restart, reinvigorate the JSU golf program. Talk to us about HBCU golf, Chuck.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when you start taking a look around with regards to HBCU golf, over the past few years, the Florida schools, FAMU, Bethune-Cookman have done tremendous. But you talk about golf back at Jackson State and the program that Eddie Payton built at Jackson State, a tremendous number of years where they won the conference championships, also put some guys on the tour. When you take a look at Tim O'Neill, who fought like heck to get on the PGA Tour. He's not doing well on the senior tour, but Tim O'Neill was probably one of the bigger names that came from that Jackson State golf program. But just so many years of Jackson State men's and women's golf team doing tremendously well. And as you mentioned, that's huge news in terms of golf coming back at Jackson State. A lot of pride around that golf program. Eddie Payton did a tremendous job in terms of building that program to what it was, and really excited to have Bob Ford come in and steer that golf program back into SWAC water. So it's going to be fun. A lot of people are really excited about Jackson State getting back into the golf business.
And I love how by omission you have admitted to that you still have a nervous tick when you think of Shasta Avery Hart and you can't say her name. So I'll say it for you. Shout out to legendary women's golfer, the beautiful Shasta Avery Hart, that Chuck just can't say her name without stammering. So he'll mention Tim O'Neill, but he'll leave out Shasta because he can't say it without fainting. So
please forgive me, Shasta, for guilt by omission. Now, I'm sorry about that. Absolutely, Shasta Avery Hart, one of the more dynamic golfers to come out of that Jackson State golf program. And as you mentioned, the lovely Shasta Avery Hart. You know, I kind of when I say that.
Yeah, I understand. Hey, shout out to Andre Walker, who is giving a happy birthday to Jimmy, Team 82 Smith. Jimmy used to be partners with me and Chuck on the pregame game show at Jackson State University. Shout out to number 82, Jacksonville Jaguars, leader in receptions, leader in touchdowns, leader in yards. He's in the Jacksonville Pride, which is their ring of honor, but still hadn't gotten over the hump to be in the NFL Pro Football Hall of Fame. So we got to all continue to push for Jimmy Smith as he wish him well on his birthday today. Chuck, anything else for you roll?
Man, that is what I have for right now. Looking forward to some more stuff. I'm in talks with John Grant in terms of some of the things that he's trying to do with Celebration Bowl. Can't wait to bring that to you guys fairly shortly. And then I have some other things lined up for the culture. So looking forward to it.
So next week you're going to bring us who did well on signing day after HBCUs, and we'll go from there.
Oh, no doubt about it. We will do that. And shout out. Let me give a couple quick things. Leading the SWAC in basketball on the men's side, Southern University Jaguars. They are undefeated thus far in conference play. And then on the women's side, Texas Southern University, they are undefeated in conference play. Both teams playing dynamic basketball above 500. They keep winning week in, week out. So definitely want to keep everyone abreast of what's going on with regards to HBCU basketball.
Yeah, I made the Jack State game this weekend where both teams played Valley. Women are undefeated at home. And Mo Williams, NBA champion Mo Williams. The slogan is JSU by 40. It was JSU by 50. Like they put the ass on Valley. I was like, I was like Tony with Apollo. I tried to throw in the towel. Like, damn, like
it's been very interesting. That Jackson State women's program has been absolutely a head turner this past season, one of the surprises in the league. And they've only been usurped by Texas Southern because Texas Southern was picked to finish 9th in conference play. Nobody saw them coming in to this weekend undefeated. They continue to keep getting it done week in, week out. And the unique thing about Southern's basketball program, Neely, they're undefeated in conference play. They do not have a top scorer in the top 20. They don't have a rebounder in the top 15. They truly do it with team ball, and they lead the league in defense. So they're playing tremendous basketball right now.
Oh, man. That's nice. That's a nice stat. That's straight up team ball. This is Dr. Charles Bishop, Professor Chuck Bishop from inside the HBCU Sports Lab. You can catch him on Sunday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Dr. Cavill. Catch him on Sunday nights with UNK and Chico Sunday Night Live. Professor Bishop, we'll check you next Sunday, brother.
No doubt, brothers. I enjoyed it.
All right, let us know when you go back in that white man house. We'll tune in.
My bad, man. You one of a kind, dog. You one of a kind.
You got to get the last jab in right before the bell ring.
Yeah, and right before the bell ring. And I'm sitting here while Professor was talking. I said, let me just check my Facebook message that popped up. And it's a daggone message from the one and only Uncle Neely.
What happened?
A comment on my page, guys. And I said, when I posted, Jalen Hurts for MVP. What did Uncle Neely post, guys?
I promise you, the water's wet and the sky is blue.
Look at that laugh. He's
Dude.
talking about the water is wet and the sky is blue. Man, I tell you the truth, man.
Look, Deuce, if you're still in the chat, I'm watching the game. It's late third quarter. Clearly, the Eagles about to win this thing.
Oh, my gosh.
And Chico comes with some breaking news on Facebook. Hey, I'm calling it. I got Jalen Hurts for MVP. And so I said, yeah, the water's wet. I should have said, in fat meat is greasy too. Like, come on, dog. Go out on a limb with some of your picks. Now, look, Chico, let me tell you.
Going out on a limb was the 2 interceptions.
That's what I was about to tell you. I'm going to celebrate you all week long as we recap the Super Bowl. For you to get to game day and call it that you see this defense forcing him into 2 interceptions, which is something unheard of. It ain't like he averaged an interception a game and he's just getting one more. Dude, you nailed that. But then you followed up with late third quarter, picking Jalen Hurts for MVP. Like, I ain't no risk in that, man. All right, that is so funny, man. Since we're doing obvious predictions, I predict later this week Trump gonna sign some bullshit.
Meaning, y'all saw Trump at the game, right? Y'all saw Trump at the game, right? Everybody else doing the national anthem. Trump be going overboard with everything on Trump up there, like he military captain #1 for real. Well, technically it is, but Trump be playing the part, don't he?
He said technically he is.
Technically he is, yeah, #1. But yeah, that's funny, man. Chico, like the announcer, still acting like KC in the game. Just 4 possessions down, 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Yeah, they were doing that the whole time. This is a 5-possession ball game. Patrick Mahomes can do anything.
Yeah, except score.
Yeah, he was shook, man. He was shook. Them boys really got after him. And that offensive line, if you can't block for your superstar quarterback, dog, he don't want to be getting hit by no 300-pound people. Y'all heard what Willie Beeman said, right? Shoot. 250-pound motherfucker. I don't do that type of stuff.
No. Hurt my shoulder. Willie damn Beamer. What up, Chad? Man. Chad, you still with us, man. I don't know if y'all dropped y'all cities earlier. Where y'all checking in from?
Yeah, real quick, drop your city, your state. I got 2 more things to talk about. I'm going to ask Uncle Neely for Uncle Neely's story, since we're not doing a Chico story from the cell. And we're going to give a shout out to Coach Prime, who gave a shout out to Kendrick Lamar about his performance that Uncle Neely didn't like, who he was yawning on. But Coach Prime said, dog, God bless you, my brother. God bless you. That's the way to do you. We are proud of you, my man. He said, man, but he said, proud of you, my man. You represented us well. Let me know what y'all feel about Coach Prime's comment.
Okay,
and Uncle Neely, what you think about that?
Here's another thing. Show the full comment, because Coach Prime also said he wished they stopped the bull jump too. And can we get along?
Okay, well, I didn't see that. I didn't see that part. Well, if he did say that, that's excellent. He added that part on too.
He did add that.
Because him and Lil Wayne like this, like this. So
this is a good time to tell you. This is a good time to tell you, Chico, since you said Prime liked it and Neely didn't. This is a good time to tell you something my daddy told me. He said, son, when 2 men agree on everything, ain't but one man doing the thinking.
He ain't lying. I agree with
And
your
I
pops on
ain't
that.
got a damn problem with Coach Prime liking Kendrick Lamar's performance tonight. But
Yeah.
that ain't gonna make me change my mind. I ain't finna watch it over. Cause that'd be my biggest thing even about a movie. Would I watch it again? And if I wouldn't watch it again, dog, it wasn't good.
Yeah.
It might be all right, but it wasn't good. Batesville, Mississippi, Big Pit checking in, 55 North.
Oh, no.
Panola County, Vegas in the house.
Already.
Montgomery, Alabama.
334 in the building. Gump Town in the building. Y'all putting them things in the air. Oh, now give me an oh now out there for the Gump Town. All the way up to Huntsville, down to Mobile, all the way over to Meridian and Jackson, Mississippi. We're gonna spread this thing across the country. Y'all gonna be saying oh now too. I hear it in the background.
Artis, I didn't see that. What part they were trying to boo Coach Prime on? What was he saying? Type that in there for me.
Oh, I did hear a little bit of something like that. Wait, let me see if he's talking about the same thing. It'll be on Nightcap. Yeah, he was talking about Coach Prime said basically that they were having a discussion, and Coach Prime basically said, no, the problem is we don't support us. Basically is what he was saying, and there's a bunch of us's in the crowd.
What us would do that? Who don't know that? That's like water's wet.
Yeah, I wish I had the direct quote on here though, but basically that was what he was saying, and this crowd was like, oh, I don't know, we will or we do, but Coach Prime gonna give it to you straight, no chaser, dog, and he gonna tell you like it is, and that no matter how many of y'all up in here, he's telling the truth. We're not gonna support each other. We're gonna be more crabs in the barrel than supportive of each other, and that's not right. And until we do that, then hell, we're gonna stay doing the same thing.
Yeah, I missed that. Appreciate you pouring that out there, Chief. Shout out to you.
Yeah, when he said that most of us hate on us. Yeah, hate on us.
Peter
Much love and PTA.
Brenda Bell. Brenda Bell.
Put an O now in your city in the chat so we can give a shout out.
Channel be rocking with us hard, man. Shout out to Tennis Channel San Diego.
Out in San Diego. Shout out to the box, El Cajon, San Diego, out there. All my Mexicanas, my Chicanas, my Vatos and my Locos.
My Polynegros.
My Polynegrians. All right. I think, let me see. We got an UNK story.
I don't know, dog. I don't be handling the top of yours.
Come on now, dog. Come on now, dog.
Give me a subject, a topic. I mean, you can't just.
Man, I want to hear about them. I got a question. Okay. It might be kind of obvious, but it might be kind of obvious. But a lot of people out there didn't go to HBCUs. A lot of people out there didn't pledge, any Greek fraternities, right? So going into that realm, why can't you guys, why is it so secretive about the fraternities and things of that nature? Like, why can't you guys, let everybody know or talk about kind of like the pledging aspect of it?
Because then it wouldn't be unique to just the members. Like what the organization stand for and what their thrusts are, what their drives are, what they try to accomplish in the community, that's public knowledge. Every organization has a storybook on its history. You can find those at the library, on Amazon, on Kindle. Like all that kind of stuff is public information. But when it comes to the esoteric things, those things that are secret, it's kind of like the things that happen in your house. You have to be a Cleveland to know everything that happens in the Cleveland house. You have to be a Neely that know that happens in the Neely house. So, and that's what makes the membership exclusive. Like you can pull up in the front yard, you can come to the barbecue, you can hang out on the front porch, but if you want to go inside the house and be a family member, that right and privilege has to be earned. And that's what the separation is, that kind of keeps the things different from public and private. It's earned. You have to be on the inside to know what's going on the inside. But as far as what the organizations stand for, like some are scholarship, Kappa's achievement, some are friendship, some are community service. Everybody has their thing, and that part is public knowledge. The means of getting there, that's the part is members only tonight.
Like any sorority, any fraternity members in the chat, rep your frat or your sorority right now. Put it in the chat right now. And yours is, Uncle Neely?
Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Football you, me find me up in this thing. You heard me? Football you.
This y'all don't understand, man. Y'all don't understand. Chuck Bishop that just got off there. Here, Alpha.
Okay, shout out to the A5s.
Yeah, Chuck B, Dr. Bishop, yeah, Alpha from Jackson.
So if I say that, I'm wrong. If I say like blue fight or A fight or if I hear somebody, am I wrong if I do that?
Well, I mean,
I might get jumped on if I do that.
You're wrong, but in the absence of enforcement, imagine this, Chico. There's a speed limit sign that says 70 miles per hour, but ain't no troopers around.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and go 82. But I bet you won't go 90 when in front of them people, though. So, you can yell your blue fire, your cigarette by yourself, but I bet you won't walk up on them doing it.
Man, I had a teammate, and right now
Andre Walker says you already know you're wrong. That's why you
That's why I asked. Look, I got a teammate right now, boy. 6 foot. Shout out to Big Spook. That's what they call Big Spook. Imagine big right tackle. 6'5", 345 pounds out of Montgomery, Alabama. But he pledged Phi Beta Sigma. And I heard that blue fire one time. I thought it was cold. So I say, blue fire. He ran up on me. Like, man, don't do that shit, Big Chico. Don't do that, dog. I don't want to grab you up here. Just don't do it. I'm like, damn. I ain't do it no more, though. Shout out to Big Spook.
I'm going to say this again. I've said it before. I love how when you with the shit, you look to the side like the people are over there. Like who are you looking around for, dog? Like you tell a story. You like, hey. Chico, it's been Super Bowl Sunday, man. Who would have known it was going to be a blowout like that? Shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles for getting them. I think this is their second one. They've made a couple trips. But I think this is the second one they're taking home their trophy case.
Jalen Hurts, the only Eagles quarterback to go to a Super Bowl most of the time.
Yeah. So it's been a struggling franchise historically, but that's going to be one of those things, Chico, that's going to propel him to Hall of Fame status. Super Bowl wins matter.
Yes. I think so. And that Super Bowl MVP matters. And I think he's just going to continue to be consistent throughout his career and only improve it, especially with the running game and the system around him, coaching staff around him like he has. He's in the right situation to flourish as a quarterback when everybody thought he couldn't and wouldn't be one, even going into Alabama. So shout out to Jalen Hurts. Salute to you and all the other Alabama players that's on the Eagles squad and the Georgia players, SEC players, all of them. Shout out to all those guys out there. If y'all got any shout outs, put it in the chat right now. Let Unc know what time it is and where y'all checking in from.
Well, I can tell you what time it is. I can tell you what time it is. Now that the Super Bowl has happened, football is officially quote unquote over. So we got about 3.5, 4 weeks before college spring ball starts up.
Colorado college spring ball starting up. We ain't worried about everybody else. We worried about the Buffs, dog. It's going down in a major way. We can't wait for that. We got some exclusive content coming for you guys. We're going to keep it coming as long as y'all want us to keep coming, as Stephen A. Smith saying. Pause. But we will do that. In the meantime, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and all the other good stuff. Until the next time, we're going to be up and about this thing.
The next time is tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning. Yes, the morning run.
The morning run when we recap the Super Bowl. Get a little deeper into it and also talk to NBA and whatever sport news is taking place. So we'll see y'all in about 12 hours or so for the morning run live on Big Dog Chico, live on the Pregame Network, and also live on Duke the Scoop. The morning run in about 12 hours.
Yes, indeed. And we're going to give you guys 30 seconds to subscribe to the Morning Run YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube, and subscribe to Uncle Neely's and Dukes the Scoop. All right. Until next time, we're going to be up and about this thing. Peace in the Middle East. Y'all know what it is. Yo.
Hey.
Run them lights up. Run them lights up. Let's go.
Run them lights up. Run them lights up. Run them lights up. Hey, hey. Run them lights up. Run them lights up. Run them lights up. Big go. He's in the house. I ain't gonna know what he talking about. When they take Shaq and Magic, they gonna go for his ass when they get back at it. When they see him on the sideline, he gonna run it high. D-Lee, can you please help me get inside? But no, take this ass for the play. We gonna do it like we gonna
Unc don't know his mic hot,
They hear that
guys.
sound, they know what time it is. Yes, sir. Uncle Chico, Sunday Night Live. Live and direct.
It's another Sunday night. It's another Sunday night. Another Sunday night live with UNK and Big Dog Chico.
Super Bowl recap.
Yeah.
Hit the like, subscribe, and comment. Before you get up out of here, it's another one. Share this thing.
It's another one, baby. It's another one.
Another Sunday night live with UNK and Big Dog. With
Cold is
UNK
in the
and Big
game.
Dog. With UNK and Big Dog.
So get ready for it. You and you.
Another Sunday night live